I'm Tom Hamer, and I'm CEO and co-founder of Marqo. Marqo is a platform for training and deploying embedding models. So we help companies train billion parameter, highly specialized custom AI models that improve search, recommendations, and RAG applications. A fun fact about me is that I'm kind of addicted to online chess. I've played over 10,000 games in the last sort of 2-3 years. Yeah, I've been playing it every day, and I guess my rating is still still could be higher, but yeah, that's I guess that's kind of unique. Yeah. When I was 14, I started off building apps for the App Store when that sort of first came out. This was back in 2010, 2011. I had an app which got to 4th in education in a number of different European countries, and also top 50 into the US. It was an app actually about how to make apps. I guess that sort of is where my interest in sort of entrepreneurship and I guess building products and building services that make people's, improve people's lives and improve results for customers sort of started. And then after that, I worked for AWS for a while. I worked on RDS, so the relational database service. But I was always really interested in embeddings, basically these vectors that go into vector databases. I've been interested in this since sort of 2016 was when I started, was when I initially became interested in this with Word2Vec. And then as AI sort of started dramatically improving in 2020, 2021, I just saw this huge opportunity for these AI models, these embedding models, to just dramatically improve search and recommendations. So when we started Marqo, we aimed to build this end-to-end platform which provides training mechanisms for embedding models, so you can train over 200 different embedding models. You can deploy those embedding models, and it also includes a vector database as well. So you have all of the components you need to build a really highly relevant retrieval system using vector database or embedding-based technology. One of the key use cases that we're seeing a lot of with Marqo is in multimodal. So we're seeing a lot of customers using Marqo for image-based retrieval use cases. Embeddings can be used for many, many more use cases than just simple text search. And we're seeing a lot of customers, companies like Envato, Redbubble, using Marqo to power image-based search experiences. We're also seeing a lot of traction with images used in things like RAG applications, so combining image search with generative AI as well. But I think multimodal search is one of the most interesting use cases for Marqo at the moment. And being able to train multimodal embedding models, being able to train also multilingual models is a huge unlock for many of our customers. We've gone from a company that wasn't, even funded, a company that's just been founded, to, a venture-backed company. We've got employees across 3 different countries. We've got lots of customers and thousands of users on our open source platform. Yeah, I think just scaling that rapidly, building out the team, I think that's probably been one of the biggest challenges. But it's also been the most rewarding because we've just been able to get so much done in the last couple of years, which has been incredible. Well, I think retrieval is a very difficult problem. So you have to have the right data, and often the data is unstructured, so it's things like images. The images may not have, a proper labeling. Even if they do, pictures often have much more like data and context within the image than you can ever kind of describe in text. And then also being able to understand the user intent. So if the user searches for something, let's say, and they give one word, a one-word prompt, it can be quite difficult to figure out what the user is actually looking for. You often need to combine retrieval with a number of other sort of data points of metadata about that user as well. So maybe what country they're searching from, maybe it's previous searches that they've done, or previous components on the website that they've interacted with. Those 2 issues make search quite challenging. And so by using AI, by using large language models, they get us a really long way towards being able to solve this problem, because they can fill in a lot of these gaps. They can combine a lot of these other data sources like user profile information, personalization. They can also fill in a lot of these gaps with the data because they can have really good comprehension of unstructured data like images. That's been a technical challenge that we've been really focused on solving at Marqo. And due to all of the latest advancements in AI, we've been able to really substantially improve the way that search and recommendations are done for our customers. I think that LLMs have a lot more use cases than people think. Obviously, as we talk about search, we work with embedding models, which are kind of a specific kind of LLM that can power search and recommendations. And I think a lot of people who aren't deeply familiar with AI aren't really familiar with embedding models, and also with the physical world as well. I think people are probably underestimating how much the innovation in LLMs is going to eventually trickle down to things like robotics. So I think that we're going to see a lot more robots in our day-to-day life. We're going to see LLMs starting to get integrated, not just in the form of ChatGPT, but integrated into like back office tasks. So we're going to start to see things like sales start to get increasingly automated by LLMs. I think that we'll continue to see adoption of LLMs, and we'll continue to see them in a lot of different areas of our life. I think bias for action is one of the key things that I would say. I think getting started, getting out there with your product or whatever the problem is that you're trying to solve, and start asking questions, start talking to people. The more actions you can take, the better. Action produces information, and by taking actions, whether that's talking to potential customers, whether that's doing research on the domain area, getting a better understanding of the sort of core technical concepts around AI, action is key. So I would say start taking action and start learning, and that's how you can eventually get to building a really great product.